Hey guys, welcome back to the second part of Topic 1, Unit 3. In this part, we will learn about globalization. In specific, we will learn the formal definition, the factors that facilitate globalization, and lastly, we will discuss the impact or the economic effects of globalization to countries. So, what does it mean by globalization? It is actually the process of international integration. It means countries are now getting more interconnected or interdependent in terms of exchange of worldviews, products, ideas, and other aspects of culture. There are several economic indicators that show us countries are now getting closer. For example, if countries involved in more trading activities, their trade intensity is high, that means countries and their trading partners are now getting closer, meaning that more important export activity taken place. Secondly, same thing happened to foreign investment. The increased level of foreign investment shows that countries are now getting more interdependent in terms of investment. If peoples from one country are free to move to another country, this is a sign of globalization. So, as for multinational cooperation, if multinational cooperation find it easier for them to invest in another country, to operate in another country, it is a facilitation of globalization. Finally, when we are easier to communicate with people from other countries, that means we are closer to that country. Countries are getting closer to each other. In conclusion, there are things or factors that facilitate or speed up the process of globalization, and these are also the same factor that slow down process of globalization. For example, the level or degree of trade liberalization would make countries closer, but at the same time, the low degree of free trade would inhibit people and countries to get closer with another. Advancement in transport and communication brings countries together. However, there are some countries in the world with limited technology or with limited access to transport and communications prevent them from getting closer with people from other country, prevent them to involve in trading activities with another country. Lastly, the emergence or growth in multinational cooperation. In fact, it is the important factors that bring countries closer and more interconnected. For example, when the US investor or US multinational corporations set up their business, set up their branches in Malaysia, they bring in their culture, they bring in their technology, they transfer their management practice to Malaysia, and we Malaysians learn from them, and that is an exchange of ideas, products, as well as management practices. And this helped to speed up the process of globalization that brings US and Malaysia together. Apparently, the process of globalizations increased the interdependence in between countries. At the same time, the economic integration of the countries. This integration would bring about positive as well as negative effect to the countries. For example, on the positive side or bright side of globalization, countries can now have faster rate of economic growth. Because of economic growth, people in the countries are able to reduce poverty level because they have greater income, more job opportunity that increase their standard of living. Sharing of idea, exchange or transfer of knowledge and technology improve the workplace standard, improve life expectancy, and improve world peace. When we exchange cultural aspects and cultural ideas, we are able to respect others' cultural identities. Import-export allow us to have wider choices of goods and services, and these also help the domestic producers to reduce their cost of productions because they are now able to get cheaper inputs for their production, and this help them to achieve economies of scale. However, on the other hand, integration of economic also bring about negative economic impacts. And these economic problems include inflation. Higher degree of import and export would lead to a problem of trade imbalance. Like for example, when we found it is cheaper for us to import from China certain goods and services, we would import a lot and this would lead to trade deficit, meaning that import more than export. And it is also means that we spend more than what we earn from other country. Besides, not all countries benefit from trading activities. Not all countries benefit from international trade. For those countries who are not able to export due to the limited resources they have, due to their limitation in their production, they are not able to earn from export. And at the same time, for those poor country or less developed country cannot afford to import from other countries, that create inequality. On one hand, foreign investment, international trade create opportunities for employment. At the same time, it would lead to unemployment in some instances. For example, those countries who are good in manufacturing sector, they are willing to hire their workers from foreign countries because it's cheaper for them to hire foreign workers. Therefore, it might increase the unemployment rate among the local people. Another issue is brain drain. This basically refers to the issues that people from less developed country would go to developed country because there are more job opportunities and better future or career prospect in advanced country. One typical example is Malaysian now shift to Singapore for better job opportunity and better pay in Singapore. Easy movement of people, easy movement of technology, easy movement of communication also represent the spread of diseases and harmful products because people are now have greater access to this kind of harmful product as well as diseases. International trade usually controlled by giant or advanced countries such as US and European countries, and these create unfair trade practices for those less developed countries because their trade is fully controlled by those giant countries. And those multinational corporations from those giant countries would dominate the domestic market through the global brands they develop. Faster growth of economy in the country would actually create reverse impact to the environment. The higher level of production in country would lead to higher level of environmental damage. In conclusion, when countries get closer together, they benefit from each other, but at the same time, that would also create some negative impact for those integration. That's all for this topic. Thank you very much.